Wow, guys, Caroline Leavitt just destroyed Caitlin Collins in a press conference interview. You never seen Caitlin Collins in any of these interviews, but now she's trying to seize the moment and catch anyone a part of Trump's cabinet up. So this about to be a pretty crazy video. I need you guys to tune in. But before that, I need you guys to hit the subscribe button, check out his channel description. Let's get right to it.
Oh,
And Caroline, just on a substantive question, yesterday the White House Office of Management and Budget directed across the board freeze, with some exceptions for individual assistance, we understand, to federal grants. It's caused a lot of confusion around the country among Head Start providers, among providers services to homeless veterans, Medicaid providers, states saying they're having trouble accessing the portal. Could you help us clear up some of the confusion,
Yes.
give some certainty to folks, and also is that uncertainty, how does that uncertainty service the president's voters?
Well, I think there's only uncertainty in this room amongst the media. There's no uncertainty in this building. So let me provide the certainty and the clarity that all of you need. This is not a blanket pause on federal assistance and grant programs from the Trump administration. Individual assistance, that includes, I'm not naming everything that's included, but just to give you a few examples, Social Security benefits, Medicare benefits, food stamps, welfare benefits, assistance that is going directly to individuals will not be impacted by this pause. And I want to make that very clear to any Americans who are watching at home who may be a little bit confused about some of the media reporting. This administration, if you are receiving individual assistance from the federal government, you will still continue to receive that. However, it is the responsibility of this president and this administration to be good stewards of taxpayer dollars. That is something that President Trump campaigned on. That's why he has launched DOGE, the Department of Government Efficiency, who is working alongside OMB. And that's why OMB sent out this memo last night, because the president signed an executive order directing OMB to do just this. And the reason for this is to ensure that every penny that is going out the door is not conflicting with the executive orders and actions that this president has taken. So what does this pause mean? It means no more funding for illegal DEI programs. It means no more funding for the Green New scam that has cost American taxpayers tens of billions of dollars. It means no more funding for transgenderism and wokeness across our federal bureaucracy and agencies. No more funding for Green New Deal social engineering policies. Again, people who are receiving individual assistance, you will continue to receive that. And President Trump is looking out for you by issuing this pause because he is being good steward of your taxpayer dollars.
Thanks, Carol.
And that's what we've been trying to tell people for a while. Trump campaigned on this and he won on this, along with border security. A lot of things are not going to be affected by this. He's trying to figure out where this money is going. He's not going to spend this money on careless things like researching transgenderism. Like, come on, in
right.
DEI, that doesn't really affect how you get a job. We've been trying to say this for a really long time. So
Yeah.
I really wish during Biden's presidency they dove into these questions, how they're trying to do anyone part of Trump's team, because they don't really care what Biden does. They went up there. KJP never had answers. Everything she had was on a big piece of paper, and she just was scripted. He's up there answering questions, and you're going to see
Incomplete,
later on in the video that Caitlin Collins doesn't have really good questions. All the questions she asked ended up with her getting destroyed. So
I just want to add that Caroline Leavitt is the youngest White House press secretary
yep,
in history. You know what I'm saying? She's clearly doing a she's banging and knocking it out the border.
energetic.
You know what I'm saying? She has all the answers. Make sure y'all hit that subscribe button.
Yep. Let's see what we got, guys.
Caroline, sure. How long is this pause going to last, and how is the Trump administration recommending that organizations that rely on federal funding make payroll, pay their rent in the meantime?
It is a temporary pause, and the Office of Management and Budget is reviewing the federal funding that has been going out the door. Again, not for individual assistance, but for all of these other programs that I mentioned. I also spoke with the incoming director of OMB this morning, and he told me to tell all of you that the line to his office is open for other federal government agencies across the board, and if they feel that programs are necessary and in line with the president's agenda, then the Office of Management and Budget will review those policies. I think this is a very responsible measure. Again, the past 4 years, we've seen the Biden administration spend money like drunken sailors. It's a big reason we've had an inflation crisis in this country, and it's incumbent upon this administration to make sure, again, that every penny is being accounted for honestly.
Why impose this pause with so little notice? Why not give organizations more time to plan for the fact that they are about to lose, in some cases, really crucial federal funding, at least for a period of time?
There was notice. It was the executive order that the president signed. There's also a freeze on hiring, as you know, a regulatory freeze, and there's also a freeze on foreign aid. And this is, again, incredibly important to ensure that this administration is taking into consideration how hard the American people are working. And their tax dollars actually matter to this administration. You know, just during this pause, DOGE and OMB have actually found that there was $37 million that was about to go out the door to the World Health Organization, which is an organization, as you all know, that President Trump, with the swipe of his pen in that executive order, is no longer wants the United States to be a part of. So that wouldn't be in line with the president's agenda. DOGE and OMB also found that there was about to be 50 million taxpayer dollars that went out the door to fund condoms in Gaza. That is a preposterous waste of taxpayer money. So that's what this pause is.
And I want to pose a question to you guys before we get to this Kaitlan Collins part. Do you really think $50 million went there, or do you think another politician got that money?
Right.
You know, maybe 100,000 probably went over there, but that's still a lot of money. And why are you giving that country money for condoms? You know, when you have Americans over here on the streets begging for money, living in tents, you
They're
know,
using these federally funded programs to funnel money into their own pockets.
exactly.
Period.
That's what we've been saying for a while, and that's why Trump's there to drain the swamp, and all these politicians are running rampant because they are scared of what's to come, you know?
A lot of monsters in that swamp, and we about to get them up out of there.
Yeah, let's see what we got, guys.
Focused on being good stewards of tax dollars.
One on the freeze in federal funding. Who advised the president on the legality of telling government agencies that they don't have to spend money that was already appropriated by Congress?
Well, as the OMB memo states, this is certainly within the confines of the law. So, White House counsel's office.
Really quick, you see how she pulled the paper out just to show her this is what it states. She's not reading off the paper
He doesn't have
and
to ask nobody
and giving scripted answers. You know,
everything he's doing is within the reach of his presidential powers.
Yep.
Facts.
Office believes that this is within the president's power to do it, and therefore he's doing it.
Okay, so they disagree with lawmakers who say that they don't have the power to freeze this funding.
Again, I would point you to the language in the memo that clearly states this is within the law.
And on what happened on Friday night, the administration fired several inspectors general without giving Congress the 30-day legally required notification that they were being fired. I think only 2 were left at DHS and the DOJ. And then yesterday we saw several prosecutors, I believe 12, fired from the Justice Department who worked on the investigations into the president. As you know, they are career prosecutors, therefore they are afforded civil service protections.
They earned that.
How is the administration deciding which laws to follow and which ones to ignore?
So it is the belief of this White House and the White House counsel's office that the president was within his executive authority to do that. He is the executive of the executive branch, and therefore he has the power to fire anyone within the executive branch that he wishes to. There's also a case that went before the Supreme Court in 2020, Scala Law LLC versus the Customs, Bureau protection. I would advise you to look at that case, and that's the legality that this White House is resting
So
on.
you're confident that if they bring lawsuits against you, those prosecutors who were fired, that they will succeed?
We will win in court.
And
yes.
did he personally direct this, given they worked on the classified documents investigation and the election interference investigation?
This was a memo that went out by the Presidential Personnel Office, and the president is the leader of this White House, so yes.
So that just shows you it's a great time to have a press secretary that's willing to answer questions hard, easy, any way. You know, she's willing to give you a straightforward answer, and she's telling you how this is going to go down and how they're going to drain the swamp. You know, this is something we've been waiting for.
I mean, she spelled everything out clearly. If there's no way
Exactly.
you could have missed anything that they've done, any of the decisions they made off top, they not taking Section 8, not taking Medicaid, none of that stuff is going away. We're just freezing some of these federally funded programs that's funding money to places that America doesn't care about.
Exactly.
Why are we spending $30 billion on the new Green Deal? What is the new Green Deal? Has that ever helped you?
Exactly. Why are we spending $50 million for condoms in Gaza?
Why are we building condos in Gaza and Gaza's burnt down right now?
No, sending
I'm-
condoms.
Oh, that's just stupidness.
That's what I'm saying, man. Like, it's just unknown,
That's stupid.
and Trump is willing to uncover. So make sure you guys check out his channel description. We out.